Hi, I'm Brendan McIntyre. I'm here to explain to you that professional esports are growing at an alarming rate into not only an event, but into a career. Esports are no longer just a hobby for many people, a pastime, or something to do on the side. One example of this is a Rocket League player by the name of Garrett G. Now, before I go into introducing Garrett, I'm going to explain to you what Rocket League is. Rocket League is a game where there are three players on each side of a field, and the goal is to simply put the ball into the net on the orange team or the blue team, depending on which team you're on. Now, the catch is you're playing in a car. They're fast, they can jump, do flips, and fly even. Now, it may sound like a lot, but when you actually watch, it's kind of simple to understand. For Rocket League in specific, like I mentioned before, is Garrett G. Garrett G has been in the RLCS, which is the Rocket League Championship Series, since Season 1. We are currently about to begin Season 10. It's been 4 years, and he's made it to every single live event, which is something that only one person has ever done, and that's him. He started off with a team called Exodus. Now, at this point in time, Rocket League was not a very big game, and it didn't have much of a following. So Exodus was just Garrett and two teammates of his that he decided he was going to play with. They went to the World Championship. They performed rather well. They didn't win, but they went home with their heads high. Come the next season, Garrett's still playing in the RLCS, still on Exodus. However, many other teams around him are being picked up by professional organizations. Now, many of you may not know that there are professional organizations for esports, but there are many, and they are billion-dollar companies as well. Some of these include G2 Esports, Cloud9, Dignitas, many, many more, but the one that we're going to focus on today is NRG Esports. Yes, this is a play on words for energy, but it's spelled NRG. In Season 2, NRG picked up a team that performed pretty poorly at the World Championship, the RLCS. Come the next season, Season 3, Garrett G left his team with Exodus, and he went and joined NRG. Now that Garrett has joined an official team, what does this mean for him? Previously, when he wasn't on an actual organization, he was making a decent bit of money through prize money, streaming money, and I think he posted an occasional video here and there on YouTube, but altogether he was mainly focusing on his education, as he was only 16 at this time, and his professional Rocket League career. When NRG picked him up, things started to change for him. He had to sign an official contract where he would only represent NRG, their merchandise, their sponsors, and he would get paid a good chunk of money a month. Now, there's no exact number for how much money an esports player makes a month. It really depends on the organization that you're playing for. At this point in time, Garrett G was making anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 a month, simply for just representing NRG. On top of that, he still gets to keep his prize money from tournaments. He still gets to keep his money from streaming. All he has to do is have an overlay on his stream that says NRG Esports on it, and it has the name of all of the sponsors as well. At that point in time, that was a great deal for him, so he took it. He started streaming. He used the NRG overlay. He got paid, and come season 3, or season 4 rather, they go to the World Championships and they do not perform as well as they had hoped. Unfortunately, Garrett didn't receive that much money that year simply because he didn't perform as well as he had wanted to. However, due to the fact that he had NRG supporting him, he still brought in enough money to support himself while still taking a break from school, streaming full time, and hopefully earning more prize money in the upcoming tournaments. Now that we've talked about Garrett, we're going to go in and discuss NRG Esports themselves. Where is this money coming from that they are able to pay these players monthly? And the answer to that is simple as any other professional organization. If you look at a professional soccer club, many of them have a big logo on their chest of a company that isn't their own, that they're representing and getting paid millions to represent them. And that's where the majority of the money for these esports organizations comes in. Energy is sponsored by a couple of different organizations. One is DC Entertainment, and another one is HyperX Gaming Headsets. Through those two sponsors specifically, they represent them on their jerseys as well as on their stream overlay, like I mentioned before. The end goal is for a large viewership to come in through watching the live events, watching people stream, watching YouTube content. All of these things are ways that creators can bring in attention to themselves. Through that, NRG is getting attention for their sponsors. These sponsors not only allow the players to have a steady income and are able to live, but they also allow all the people on the inside of the energy corporation to be able to afford uh, to pay everybody as well as make a large profit. Specific supporters of NRG are as follows, but aren't limited to Alex Rodriguez, Jennifer Lopez, Michael Strahan, Marshawn Lynch, and Shaquille O'Neal. All of these people have invested money into the NRG organization, and all of them are getting paid fairly well for it. Another way that these esports organizations can make money is through their shops and fan bases. If a fan is to watch the RLCS and see a team perform very well and enjoy watching that team, they're going to start to support them. They're going to watch another stream. They're going to follow them. They're going to make sure they can keep up with it if they're really into it. For me, that came through a team by the name of G2 Esports, and yes, I have plenty of things from them. In conclusion, the esports world is growing at a significant rate, and there's no denying it, nor should there be. If these players and content creators are good enough to get the job done and bring in an income that they are more than capable of living off of, then why stop them? If they are a community that is strong enough to bring hundreds of thousands of viewers on average and fill professional sports stadiums and arenas for live events, then who's to say that it is all a fantasy? In season 7 of the RLCS, it took place in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center. And for those of you who don't know, that's where the New Jersey Devils play professional hockey. The arena was packed full, almost sold out, and almost all merchandise that they were selling there was sold out within the first 2 days of a 3-day event. Now, there's such a large fan base for so many different games, and through those games, these communities are formed and opportunities for these players and content creators are born. And like I stated before, it's undeniable at this point. If these people are able to support themselves doing something that they love, isn't that what we want for everybody at the end of the day? Who are we to say that that's not a real job or that they don't deserve the money that they're making? As they are just as talented at what they do as anybody else is talented at what they are professional in. Thank you.